Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee with Lisa. I'm Spiritual Coach Lisa Hop. It is Sunday, May 16th, 2021. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're new, welcome. Please be sure to check out my website at lisahop.com. I'm also on Facebook under Spiritual Coach Lisa Hop. Please go there and like and follow. And if you're here on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and share. I would like it so very much. And for those of you who come back every week and give me such great support, thank you so much. Please keep up the comments, the suggestions. I do appreciate it. I do take it seriously. You matter. So please, yes, continue to speak. Continue to let me know how I may serve you. It's a beautiful day in my neighborhood today, and the weather's finally going to be warming up this week. Like a good summertime here on the East Coast of America. I'm going to talk about a very spiritual topic today, being a spiritual coach. So I guess warning on the podcast. We're going to talk about spirituality. We're going to talk about faith. We're going to talk about how important it is to ask for help. It's actually a spiritual practice. It's actually good karma. It actually strengthens your connection to God and to whatever you consider a greater source, whether it be source or universe or God or Yahweh, whatever you call it. It strengthens your connection. It strengthens your connection in a flow, an abundant kind of way. So it's so very important, but it's so incredibly hard to do for people who are servers, for people who give to others, for the caregivers, for the caretakers. It's so hard, and I have to say I was one of them. I think I was raised to be very independent and to sort things out myself, and that's a good thing. And I do have the ability to take care of myself and to make independent decisions and to handle a lot. I can handle a lot. It's got to be huge to bowl me over, honestly. It's got to be a mountain, and those mountains are now molehills in my past because of the stress. Doesn't mean that sometimes I don't need help. I need help just like anybody else. And recently, I've had to feel within myself and know within myself it was all right to ask for help again. But I wasn't able to ask for help in any way, truly, and feel comfortable about it until probably about 8 years ago when I relented and allowed myself to receive it. At the time, I needed help, but I felt my faith would help me. My faith would ensure that things would work out, and I know that that was right, but I still relented, and I thought this time, part of that help, it's all right to allow it to not just be your helpers in heaven, like your angels and Blessed Mother Mary or Jesus or your departed loved ones. They can involve humans in this as well, and you should not say no. If you should allow the help if they want to help you, because oftentimes heaven sends the human helpers. They send the human helpers all the time. So many people pray for intercession, get intercession, and then keep praying for intercession because they're not recognizing it. They think, no, it's not the way I expected. That's not the way I thought it would happen. So I'm going to keep, all the help comes to helicopters and everything. And they go, no, I prayed to God and God's coming. No. Same with our vaccine. Same with the scientists. This is not political. You ask for help, you receive it. And so it is, important to know that sometimes humans play a divine role in our lives. And to say no to it, to say it's got to be all about myself, is denying your spiritual self, is denying your spiritual birthright, is denying your spiritual connection. And that flow is so important, to give and then receive. to give and then receive. So recently I've been back to asking for help. Now, here's something that's very hard for me. It's easier today for me to receive from humans. I thankfully and gratefully say thank you. I love when people are generous and kind to me. I get excited. It makes my day. That's much easier. That was a project. That was an evolution within me. But I find it's still hard for me to pray for divine help. It's still hard for me. I always feel that if I ask Jesus or Blessed Mother Mary or an archangel to help me, that they may need to be helping someone else more. And I know that that is not true. They have the ability to be anywhere, anytime, helping multiple people. They have no limitations. So what is my problem? Right? So I've come to them humbly recently, I tell you. And I'm not going to tell you too much about it because I think that when we go privately, when we pray for help, when we pray with gratitude to those who are divine, to our divine helpers, to our heavenly helpers, it should be a very private matter. It is very much in the Bible. You should not pray for the benefit for others to see you. You should not, make it a public event. It should be a very private, cherished thing. And honestly, no one else should judge it or assume about your connection with heaven. It's all very intimate and it's all very private. So I'm not going to talk very much about it. I'm just going to say that I've started it again to really focus on it, to improve upon it, because I want it. I know it's important. And I'm filled with faith that just by asking I do receive. Now let me though say this. The one thing about when you go to your divine helpers, you must go with humility. You must go, you don't have to beg. You don't have to pray that you're good enough. You should feel worthy because you are worthy just by being a creation of that highest form. But there should be no expectance except in the faith that you're heard. And you have to have faith that the help will arrive, but maybe it won't be exactly in the timing that you might like to have it. It might be 11th hour, or it might be instant. You have to give it into their hands and trust it's in the best hands possible. And they're going to do what they know is best to do because they do love you and they do love me. I have had intercessions before that have been miraculous. So I have the proof that going to my divine helpers works, comes through. But I can never have demands. I can never go and go, hey, could you help me again, please? Thank you. I have to go with a humility, with a prayerfulness, Sunday morning. I have to go with a faith. I have to go with a love. I have to go with a trust. And I have to repetitively do it every day because they test you. It's not that they won't give you the miracle if you go to them once, but I find sometimes they want to know. They want that connection and they want to make you wait so you foster it. There was a time when it took 16 days for me to see an answer. But every day for 16 days, I did a prayer ritual to my helpers with the knowing that I was being heard, and with the humility to say thank you and to allow them to do their work. And they did. So sometimes you shouldn't go in wanting to make it one time or, it's the connection. The connection should be daily, really. It's almost like a gratitude letters to your helpers. In a way, just as we should all do a gratitude letter daily about what we're thankful for, but also what we are grateful for that we don't see yet. You can also have this spiritual connection, this prayer connection with your divine helpers. There's not only with requests, but also with daily gratitude. Thank you for the help you've given. Thank you for the help that's coming. Thank you for hearing my prayer. Thank you for loving me. I had faith in you. I have faith in you. I know that you love me. That is also very true. You can make it formalized. There's so many prayers out there to use. Or you can just talk. It doesn't matter. They love the connection. And it's using a resource that we all often don't feel that we're worthy of using, but we are worthy. We are worthy because we are a creation of that highest source. Kind of like the offspring. And so they do cherish that connection with us, and they will answer. Now, can you mess this up? Not really. If you're praying to your departed mother, if she feels it is what you're asking for above her pay grade, she's going to give it over to a Mary, or a Jesus, or a guardian angel, or an archangel. So when you pray to one source, but you can split it up to whomever you want to have involved. It's all right. You can't get this wrong, okay? And I know this. I know this not only, I know this from personal experience, but I also know this from great teachers. I know this from my life. I know this to be truth. It is all right to go to them. You do not have to go through a pastor or a priest. You do not have to go through anybody else. You can do one-on-one. They love it. And I think really, truly, that's all they've ever wanted, is for that connection of wholeness to be there. We're coming into a time, by the way, where we're understanding wholeness, that we're all one community. And people are fighting it. They're talking about some are woke or political rightness, correctness, and all this, but it's all becoming whole, all becoming one. It's happening, and it's happening in phases. It's an evolution. So it can get messy at times, and it can get sad at times, it can get scary at times, but it's all about us growing and healing and moving forward. But now in heaven, that is already there. So heaven, that wholeness of heaven is coming to earth. So that wholeness of heaven where they work as one, that is what supports you. It's always around you, right around you. There's always someone listening. There's always someone waiting for your will to say, please help me, so they can step in. You do have free will. And with your free will, you are allowed to make choices. You make a lot of choices every day that heaven allows. And sometimes they allow huge choices that they know will hurt you. And there will be consequences, but they know that you'll learn from those consequences, that you'll grow, that a blessing, that a fruit can come from consequences. So that's why heaven allows bad things to happen, not because you're not loved, but because you're loved so much. I know that sounds strange. Believe me, I'm human. Why do bad things happen to children? Why do bad things happen to good people? To grow us all, to make things turn for the higher good. And it's not that it happens to them and they're a victim. Some of us on this earth want to be a part of making things better. And so everyone plays their role, and their soul agrees to a certain role. But it is about free will. And there's a God's will, too. But we have a lot of say. We have so much say. So with your free will, you can get help always. So let's say, for instance, you're going through something that's testing you. You have guardian angels, spirit guides. You have masters such as Jesus, beloved Mother Mary, Moses, Buddha. So many helpers. God source. They'll let you go through it alone for the most part. But if you say, please help, I surrender my will, please help, oh, they love it. That gives them permission to get really involved. Now, this is the amazing thing. You ask for help, sometimes just with your feelings. You don't have to do a formal prayer. You don't have to say it out loud or think it. If you feel help, they come. I learned that myself. It was confusing to me when I was younger. Angels would show up, and I would be like, but I didn't ask for help. But then I realized, after a while, I was feeling scared. So when I was feeling scared, I would ask for help through my fear, and they would arrive. So it's easy. It's easy to ask for help. And you've got it. You know, the one thing about heaven is, when it gives help, I think if you were to get help from a Blessed Mother Mary or Jesus, they would ask of you to be of service in return. I am giving you help now. Now return it. But not to your fellow man. Be kind, be generous, serve. Come from a place of love. Have empathy. But your angels, they do everything unconditionally. You know, they'll come and serve you. They do it with joy. It's like it's their job, you know. They don't require any payment. They just love that you're employing them. And it's not to say they don't want you to help other people. I feel that whenever I've gone to those larger masters that are not angels, they tend to say that. Just pay it out. Just pay it forward. Last week, I was in a coffee line, and the car ahead of us paid for our coffee. We were so joyful about that. It was the first time that it happened. We immediately paid for the one behind us. It was so much fun. That's exactly what Jesus and Blessed Mother Mary would, and any master like that you go to would say, do that. When you're given a gift, you pay it forward. That's all they're asking. It can be that simple. A smile, opening the door, thinking of others. Now, we have a little bit of an issue in our society today. People are having a hard time thinking of others. A little bit. I think not as much as they should be. Perhaps. For the higher good of all. For their spiritual selves. For their highest soul selves. And it shows, doesn't it? I noticed that more people are running lights more, or this, I'll risk and say this, the mask thing, it's not just about you. It's about caring for others. When you care for another man, another person, it gets returned to you tenfold. It's worth it to think about others rather than yourself. If you can't do it just to be good, do it because you know there will be a return if you can try to do it. The larger return comes when you do it more unconditionally and because you enjoy doing it and because you love serving others. It multiplies and multiplies, but you still can get something back just by being thoughtful. It can be very hard sometimes, but try to apply that to your everyday life. You'll see it. You'll see it return. What you put out, you get back. So you have this team. You have this team of divine that are there waiting for you to ask for them, that are there waiting to tell you how to serve your fellow man if you want to. They're hoping that you will. So please use them. You can use them a little bit. You can use them a lot of bit, however you wish to use them. And unlike me, who is better with it and insist on being better with it about it from now on, know that you can. Know that you are not taking them away from anybody else or anything else. They can be helping Israel right now and you at the same time. And it doesn't hamper anything. They have plenty of resources. They are unlimited. You are unlimited too. We're all unlimited, but we're taught we aren't unlimited. We're taught so many things that aren't true. Do you know that heaven sees you perfect inside? Yes, you have a body, and you have organs, and you have emotions that mess with you, that cause you to feel anger or egotism or fear or worries. That doesn't exist in heaven. But they see your core. They see your energy, your soul. And that soul is perfect. And that soul is accessible at any time you want to have access to it. All you have to do is meditate, pray. It can be a walking meditation. It can be a centered meditation looking at a candle. It can be going to church if that is where you find God. But when you center yourself with that energy, you will feel a sense of your perfection as well. That's what they see. And that is what your loved ones see now too, by the way. You only see the true essence of you and nothing else. When you foul up, they smile and they try to help you. But they know who you truly are. And isn't that assuring? Imagine if you didn't get to say goodbye or you have regrets about someone who passed over. You felt like you made mistakes. They're not dwelling on that. They're dwelling on who you truly are. And they're loving you more and more and more every day. That's the truth. Isn't that something? Live your life in love. Or feel you need strength or courage. And you don't know what to do to get happiness. You don't know what is the best thing to do for the next part of your life. Reach out. Reach out. And as far as your relationships on earth, surround yourself with the best people. People who are there for you. Now, we all get caught up in time. Sometimes days can go by and we realize a week went by and I didn't talk to someone. Forgive them. You know who cares. And you know who doesn't feel you're as important. Surround yourself with those who care. And when they want to help, if you need help, ask for it. Because you see, sometimes people, oftentimes I think, even I don't know what to do. I don't know what they really need. I don't want to be a pain. And sometimes I think you should take action, Lisa, but what kind? So it would help us all so much, the helpers. If you would tell us what you need. Tell someone what you need. And if you don't really need anything, just take their love. Just say thank you. And appreciate it. I appreciate it. I cherish those who care about me. It's important to be cared for. It makes you feel better about yourself. It makes the world a better place. It's all right to receive. The flow is the way it's supposed to be. You receive and then you give. You receive and then you give. But you must not receive and just take. And you must not just give and never receive. When you do that, you will be poor. Do you want to be poor in every way? Monetarily, with love? Yes. I would imagine your answer would be no. So receive and then give unconditionally. Receive and then give unconditionally. Stay in that flow and you will prosper. It is literally natural, energetic that way. It's about being part of oneness. And if you allow yourself to do it, you'll think it's a lot of fun. It makes life better. And you won't have any of those inner stirrings that can happen where no one's helping me. There are some of us, I used to be like this, but I've outgrown it, that give and give and give and give and give and give and give, right? And then they go through something and nobody's there. And it hurts them. It hurts them so much. But here's what they don't understand. You see, you've trained someone to receive from you and never have to give because you never received. You just kept giving and giving and giving and giving and giving, right? No, you didn't get all these keys or you didn't build up all these receipts for one time. It has to be give, receive, give, receive. You can't pile up the gifts to people, training them to receive from you and never having to get back. And then when you go through something, expect them to understand it's their turn. That makes it conditional. People treat us as they see we wish to be treated. So you must expect that when you give, you are going to receive next. That it has to be an exchange like that. It has to be a flow like that. So that is what a lot of caregivers and servers do. And then they burn themselves out and there's nobody there for them. But the minute they start spoiling themselves and saying, it's my turn, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to go to that party and do everything. I'm going to take a day of rest. I'm going to buy myself that. As soon as they start changing and giving to themselves, now people are handing them things. Because they've retrained them. They've said, well, I want to receive. So it starts with how you treat you and allowing yourself to receive. You don't win extra keys to heaven by constantly giving, and not receiving. Heaven's going to ask you why you weren't in the flow. Why did I sent helpers to you, didn't receive them, why not? Oh, I thought I was just supposed to give. And then, I get the rewards to heaven. Well, not to say you won't get some. But heaven's trying to also reward us on earth and give us more rewards in heaven. So be in that flow. Ask when you need it. Make it a relationship. A relationship with your divine helpers. Strengthen your relationship with those that you are connected to on earth. We're all in this together. Let's be in it together. So, I think that's one of the fun things about last year when there used to be little fairy drop-offs, of whatever it may be, snacks or wine. It's kind of like saying we're in this together. Let's take care of each other. It was fun and it was frivolous, but it touches on that. When my father used to drop off toilet paper, napkins, and we're taking care of each other. Sanitizer and Lysol, and that's what it's about. It's like taking care of each other here and knowing that there is a team in heaven that's also taking care of us too. And we'll become one big team. Use your teams, your earthly teams and your heavenly teams. And know that your heavenly teams will use your earth teams. So when you ask for help, it may come from a neighbor. It may come from a friend. It may come from a stranger. But it doesn't mean that God isn't involved. So go there. Do it. Don't answer later when you do arrive in heaven. Don't wait and have to answer as to why you didn't do it, because they will ask you. We could have helped you all along. Why didn't you ask us? And you'll say, I didn't think I was worthy. I thought I was supposed to do it all myself, and don't you have other people you had to help, and all kinds of other things that will come out. They'll look at you like, no, none of that is true. It was there all along. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please think about that. Use your helpers. You can use them for small things, you can use them for big things. And you don't have to wait until something big happens to go. If you need more energy today, ask them. If you need help with finances, ask them. If you need more love in your life, ask them. If you feel that you need to feel more love, ask them. Whatever it is that you want more of, ask them. If you just want comfort, ask them. No matter who it is, earth or heaven. And then watch. Don't watch too hard. Just notice. Something will occur. Thank you so much for joining me. Please be sure to check out my services at my website, lisahop.com. Please like, subscribe, share. Any questions, Serenity Harbor at Verizon.net about my services. I'm here to help you. We're here to help each other. Thank you. Many blessings.